coming up on Network Africa. Nigerians living in South Africa express fear and demand protection after alleged anti-migrant killings in the country. Kenyan police sealed off the capital, Nairobi, with checkpoints and roadblocks as the country marks Saba Day. The World Health Organization accelerates treatment options in combating the spread of the deadly Ebola virus in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Thanks for joining us on the program. I'm Amarachi Bubani. We begin in South Africa, where fear is growing among Nigerians living in the country following the deaths of 2 nationals during recent anti-migrant unrest. Community leaders say many foreign nationals are fearful as tensions continue despite the end of recent protests targeting migrants. The president of the Nigerian Citizens Association, South Africa, Reverend Frank Onyekwelu, has called for a full investigation into the deaths, while urging authorities to ensure the safety of legally documented foreign residents. He's also urged the South African government to enforce its directives against anti-migrant intimidation and make immigration and documentation processes easier for legally documented foreign nationals. The incidents have sparked concern from Nigerian and Ghanaian diplomatic officials as pressure mounts on the South African government to curb xenophobic violence and protect all residents.
Truth be told, this march and protest has really impacted greatly, psychologically, mentally, financially, emotionally, all around. People are hurt, people were injured. Currently, even after the June 30th deadline, there is still some anxiety, fears, insecurity within the community, our communities, our nationals who most of them are victims of this march and march. They've lost their money, they've lost their businesses. Some of them were wounded or injured, and their safety continuing to stay in South Africa is questioned. From the information we've gathered, there were investigations going on, and the police arrested them. And while investigation is still going on, I'm assuming, as a result of the torture they receive, or the beatings, or the brutality that is ministered on them, and they could not hold it, and that led to them passing away. It's not only 2 of them, there are many among it. There are many of them. We have police case registered case numbers of Nigerians, both in Cape Town, in Johannesburg, in Northern Cape, in KwaZulu-Natal, where our nationals have succumbed to death in the hands of police, either because of harassment, intimidation, or brutality. While investigation is still going on, we are condemning such act. Everybody has rights to life. Government have made announcements, have made proclamations, and have given some directives. But the question is that some of those directives are not being carried out. And you see some groups, some vigilante groups, some anti-migrant groups coming out, making some bold statements in the television. Like, for example, there is one media, somebody is saying, don't listen to government, don't listen to police. We are South Africans, we are the citizens, we decide what happened. And when you look at such statement like that, and after making such statement, the person is still busy, perambulating around. He has not been arrested, he has not been called to answer for such statement. So you are asking yourself, what do I follow? Do I follow what the government is saying to say we are here to protect you? If you are saying somebody is undocumented, it's a different thing. But when they march, they say whether documented or undocumented, you must leave. So that tells a different thing.
And while concerns continue to grow over the recent anti-migrant protests in South Africa, the United Nations Special Advisor on Africa, Ahunna Ezeakonwa, is calling on African nations to strengthen their commitment to unity and cooperation amid rising tensions that have displaced several African migrants. In an exclusive interview I had with her, Ezeakonwa described xenophobic attacks as a threat to Africa's shared aspirations, stressing that the continent's growth depends on solidarity, peaceful coexistence, and the free movement of its people. She encourages both leaders and citizens to work together to build a more united and inclusive Africa.
I grew up in the time of anti-apartheid movement. I was myself in South Africa when they had the all-white referendum under de Klerk, and I was, I was young, but a keen observer of what was going on there. But, for me, it was personal. For most of us coming out of a country like Nigeria, it was really a personal mission to see the end of apartheid. And so, fast forward to what's going on today, what you would wish is, at the very least, an understanding of the fact that we are one, and it's a larger question of free movement and integration of the continent. Now, today, we have quite a few countries on the continent that started to do a visa-free regime for Africans, Rwanda, Kenya, Burundi, and they're all happening now. So I think Africa needs to address this core question of free movement and regional integration. Otherwise South Africa will not be the last one. We will continue to have, particularly as the economic pressures happen and people feel a sense of a deep sense of insecurity and vulnerability, So it's really how we come together as a continent to make real the united Africa that we're talking about in the African Union. That union has to be a people union, not just a union around states. We also now have the One Africa market. We have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. How are you going to implement that without institutionalized free movement, without legal frameworks that allow Africans to move freely and to do business freely across borders?
You'll get more of that interview on Diplomatic Channel. But staying with the anti-immigration sentiments in South Africa, Zimbabwe has confirmed around 60,000 of its citizens, including men, women and children, have returned from South Africa amid ongoing demonstrations against undocumented foreign nationals. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says the government has introduced support programs to assist the returnees with their reintegration. Meanwhile, in a significant political development, President Mnangagwa signed a constitutional amendment into law that extends presidential terms by 7 years and abolishes direct presidential elections.
Our ZANU-PF-led government has put in place comprehensive plans for the seamless, safe, orderly, and dignified reintegration back into Zimbabwe. In line with the character trait, we are known as a warm and hospitable people. It is pleasing that community members along the transit route, including in Matabeleland South Province, Masvingo Province, continue to demonstrate acts of kindness towards those going back to their countries of origin.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe. Our security forces have arrested more than 200 people in a major crackdown on illegal mining west of Johannesburg. Police, soldiers and private security teams raided a gold mine shaft, detaining 217 suspects, many of them undocumented foreign nationals from Lesotho, Mozambique and Zimbabwe. Authorities also recovered firearms and ammunition as part of Operation Prosper, a nationwide security drive launched by President Cyril Ramaphosa to combat organized crime and gang violence. The operation comes amid tighter immigration enforcement as South Africa continues to grapple with illegal mining, rising xenophobic tensions and growing security concerns. Away from South Africa now, heavy security has overshadowed planned anti-government protests in Kenya and Tanzania, as police and the military forces move to prevent demonstrations across both countries. In Tanzania, security personnel have flooded the streets of Dar es Salaam, where protesters had planned to demand democratic reforms and the release of opposition leader Tundu Lissu. Authorities insist they would not allow anyone dictate when protests should take place, vowing to maintain public order. The show of force comes amid continuing political tensions following Tanzania's disputed election, with analysts warning that the government remains on high alert after months of deadly unrest. And over in Kenya, Nairobi, the capital, has been placed under tight security as police flood the streets ahead of the planned Saba Day protests. Roadblocks and checkpoints were set up across the city, while several demonstrators were detained as they attempted to march towards Parliament. Activists accused the government of suppressing their constitutional right to peaceful protest, saying colleagues had been arrested and their whereabouts remain unknown. This year's Saba commemoration, which honors the pro-democracy movement of 1990, has evolved into a focal point for public anger over police brutality, the high cost of living, alleged corruption, and growing dissatisfaction with President William Ruto's government.
Here with me is a petition yenye tulikuwa tunapeleka kwa bunge, lakini tumekatazwa kuenda bunge. Nairobi has been cordoned, the parliament has been locked, and nobody can access the premises of parliament. We are asking the police IG, wacha kusema ya kwamba haukupata the notification ya kupicket siku ya leo. We all know that we presented a petition to send a notice to Central Police Station on Thursday. And you guys refused to accept our to sign our notice. And today tumetoka kuhakikisha kwamba tumepeleka hii petition kwa bunge, na Wakenya saa hizi wanakatazwa kupeleka petition kwa bunge, haki ambayo wanapewa kikatiba. We are living in bad times, and we want to tell the nation that please do not allow this regime to curtail the rights enshrined in our constitution. Again, we want to tell the country that some of our colleagues, patriotic Kenyans, have been arrested, have been taken away to places where we don't know, and we are worried of their lives right now.
The Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo continues to grow as health authorities race to expand life-saving treatment capacity. Officials say more than 1,500 confirmed cases have now been recorded, including over 500 deaths, while more than 10,000 contacts are being monitored. Treatment capacity has increased dramatically from just 10 beds at the start of the outbreak to over 700 across 22 treatment centers, with plans to add 300 more. Despite the expansion, health facilities are operating at nearly 90% capacity, underscoring the continuing challenge of containing the deadly virus. Staying with the Ebola virus, the World Health Organization has warned the outbreak in the DRC is still expanding, with officials saying it is too early to declare the situation under control. The WHO says testing capacity has increased significantly, while a new clinical trial is underway to evaluate two promising treatments for the Bundibugyo strain of the virus. But continuing conflict, displacement, and limited medical resources in eastern Congo remain major challenges, complicating efforts to contain the outbreak.
AI is not just about technology, it is about equality and accountability. It touches all areas of our lives, from jobs to crossing a border to accessing information. That is why human rights needs to be embedded into the design, development, deployment, and use of AI. Human oversight of AI systems cannot be just a rubber stamp.
We're off on a short break now on Network Africa, still ahead. Well, Egyptian fans were left devastated after Argentina's defeat in a dramatic World Cup round of 16 clash. We'll have details on that match. Stay with us.
Are you ready for the thrill, the grit, and the glory? Feel the energy.
This is where legends are born. Every game, every match, every moment.
Witness the passion.
From the court to the track, into the stadium, everywhere in between, we've got you covered.
Celebrate the journey.
It's not just sports, it's life in motion.
This is where every sport comes alive. Your all-access pass to the world of sports. At these times, only on Channels Television.
We all see the world differently, but our time zones, politics, diplomacy, and sometimes conflict all converge in one place on The World Today. The World Today brings you those headlines from around the world with in-depth discussions that help you understand the world we live in. Don't be in the dark. Catch us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. only on Channels Television.
Welcome back. China's Consul General to Nigeria, Yan Yuching, has echoed the thoughts and sentiments of President Xi Jinping on the occasion of the 105th anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party of China on July 1st. President Xi is the General Secretary of the CPC, the Central Committee, a party which has helped the country overcome seemingly surmountable difficulties and made remarkable achievements that have attracted worldwide attention. During a forum in Lagos marking the great milestone, the Consul General said since the CPC began leading China under President Xi, the party has not only delivered China from its semi-colonial past, but has been lifting citizens out of poverty. The forum brought together consulate officials, journalists, members of international institutions, and special guests who had just returned from a recent visit to China.
It was under the leadership of the CPC that the Chinese people overthrew oppression, founded the People's Republic of China, and put an end to China's semi-colonial and semi-feudal past. Over the past 105 years, the CPC has led China from a poor and backward country to the world's second largest economy, writing a remarkable chapter in the history of human development. Since entering the new era, China has accomplished the historic task of eliminating absolute poverty. Nearly 100 million rural residents have been lifted out of poverty, creating a miracle in the history of humanity's fight against poverty.
Its evolution, planning, tenacious execution, they are the staying powers and anchor that keep CPC alive and relevant for 105 years. It is not possible to hold the people down, 1.4 billion people, with coercion and intimidation and lies. It's not possible. CPC is in leadership because it gives leadership. CPC is in charge for 105 years because it gives palpable leadership you can see and feel. Some of my team members are here. We went to the ancient city of Shenzhen, of 3,000 fishermen homes and families. Even today, it's remade to lift the standard of living of those natives. Now, that city boasts of the second largest stock exchange in Asia. It has a population of about 15 million people. You go to the downtown of Shenzhen, you look at the skyline of Shenzhen. The first time I visited Shenzhen 10 years ago, the city it coincided with week they celebrated their 36th anniversary. Now, we saw a city of 46 years, and you say it is not free, but it is free. CPC did it.
An environmental emergency is unfolding in Nigeria's Niger Delta, where residents of Bile communities say methane gas has been bubbling through rivers, swamps, and boreholes for months. Locals say the contamination has polluted water sources, damaged farmland, forced a school to close, and raised fears of serious health risks, including respiratory illnesses. Residents have blamed aging oil and gas pipelines for the suspected leak, though authorities say investigations are still underway and the source has not yet been confirmed. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has deployed emergency measures as the incident renews concerns over decades of environmental pollution in the oil-rich Niger Delta.
Look at the operators, suck our oil, did all what they can do. Finally, they sold the materials. Part of it went to Aeroton, the other one went to New Cross. So I believe that is this drilling, the pipelines. Till now, we have a lot of pipelines that are, yes, on our territory, a lot, different sizes. Saipem came to this place. We are running a pipe, about 40 inches pipe. A lot of pipes are under our ground here. So maybe we have the oil line, we have the gas line. So maybe, I don't know if one of them busted. So if you look at the whole thing, the sole responsibility of this thing, the sole responsibility of this thing is coming from one of these oil company lines that are causing the problem.
I start feel fever like something. My body, the headache, catarrh. After that treatment, I cough, come starting on. Night, I need to sleep. Daytime, I need to rest.
Well, two disappointments at the FIFA 2026 World Cup. You can only imagine the heartbreak fans felt for the Egyptian football team, the Pharaohs, on Tuesday when it was beaten by Argentina in a dramatic FIFA World Cup round of 16 clash. Many supporters blame refereeing decisions for the team's elimination when they were beaten 3-2. Restaurants hosting public viewing events were packed with fans supporting Egypt. They sang, waved the Egyptian flags, chanted as they cheered on the Pharaohs against the defending champions. That early jubilation soon turned to heartbreak as Argentina fought back.
I don't know what to say, but this game is rigged. Like, this game is 100% rigged. We deserve a penalty. Didn't even go check on Navarre. This game is rigged. But what can we say? It's just the African mentality, the underdog mentality. We stop pressuring. And it's not Belgium. This is Messi. You cannot leave the ball to Messi. Messi is inevitable. He's the greatest of all time. But this game is rigged. We deserve to win. We had the greatest performance we've ever had. We're so proud to be Egyptians. And Messi is inevitable.
Well, before we go on Network Africa, here's a fun fact for you. On the continent, did you know that Cairo, the capital of Egypt, is the largest city in Africa with an estimated population of more than 20 million people in its metropolitan area? Covering approximately 500 square kilometers, the bustling metropolis is renowned for its rich history, vibrant culture, and its proximity to the iconic pyramids of Giza, making it one of the continent's most influential and visited cities. And now you know. That's Network Africa. Thanks for watching. I'm Amarachi. Bye.